In this video, I'm going to show you how to get Grand Theft Auto 3 up and running on a Nintendo Wii U using the RE3 port. Alright, so this isn't my typical tutorial video, it's not RetroArch related, but I had a comment on one of my Wii U RetroArch videos from Roller1000 asking if I could cover how to set up GTA 3 for Wii U. And it sounded so intriguing, I decided to look into it, and it was actually more simple than I thought it would be, and it actually ran really good, so I figured, why the heck not? Let's do it! I mean, GTA 3 was a cultural phenomenon back in the early 2000s. Like, this game spawned so much angst and hatred and all kinds of anti-video game sentimentality. Like, oh man, this thing is a piece of history, and the fact that it can run on Wii U is just hilarious to me. But let's go ahead and dive in. I'll show you how to get it going. Alright, so to get started playing GTA 3 on your Wii U, you're gonna need a few things. The first of which is an actual copy of the PC version of GTA 3. Yes, you have to own the game. We need files from the actual game to get it to run on the Wii U. So you can pick this up on Steam. I believe there's a version on GOG as well. I don't recall. I don't know. I believe the disc version will work as well if you happen to have that. But I have the Steam copy. I've owned the Steam copy for years, and it works flawlessly. So once you have GTA 3 installed on your computer, just open up the folder that you have it installed in. So for example on Steam, if you have it installed through Steam, you can right click on the game, go down to Manage, and browse local files. Bam, there's that folder. But we're going to minimize it, because we need it in just a minute. The next thing we're going to need is the Wii U port of RE3 by GaryOderNichts. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered it. I'm sorry, Gary. I'm sorry. Thank you for an awesome port. We're going to go into the GitHub and download the re3.rpx file and the gamesfile.zip. And grab the latest versions. Right now, as of this video, it is on release 3. But by the time you're watching this, at some point in the future, who knows what release we'll be on. But once you have these files downloaded, we just need to get the gamesfile.zip extracted. So I use 7-zip, so it's as easy as going extract to game files. Woohoo! Alright. So the next step that we need to do is make a folder and call it RE3. Lowercase. Make sure it's lowercase. But we're going to put our re3.rpx file in there. And then we're going to open up the games files and copy everything in here into the RE3 folder as well. And then we're done with that stuff, so we can get rid of it. But now we need some folders from our Grand Theft Auto 3 PC version. Remember, I said you need to own the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 3 to get this to work. Okay, so the folders and files that we need to copy are the GTA3.ini, text, skins, MP3, movies, models, data, audio, and animation. So we're going to copy these and paste them into our RE3 folder. And when you get the destination has 8 files with the same names prompt, hit skip these files. Do not replace them. Skip, 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 skip. Alright, I hope you understand that you need to hit the skip button. Skip. And there we go. But we're done with our GTA 3 install folder, and we're done making our RE3 folder. Now all we need to do is put it onto our Wii U SD card. So if you're trying to do this guide, I'm assuming that you have a homebrewed Wii U, which means that you should have a folder structure that looks very similar to what I have here. You'll have a folder named Wii U, and an apps folder inside of that, which you will have a bunch of different apps. And that is where we're going to place our RE3 folder. And once that has finished copying over, we can close out of everything on our computer, pop the SD card out, put it back in the Wii U, get it booted up. Now again, this guide is assuming you already have a homebrew enabled Wii U. If you do not, you can check out the guides that I have linked in the description below on how to homebrew your Wii U. It's not something I'm going to cover in this video. It's not actually something I'm going to cover in any video, because that's when Nintendo starts coming after you with the iron fist, so just use what's already available out there on the net. I'm not risking my channel for it. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, we could just go ahead and boot into the Homebrew launcher and start playing some GTA 3. So after the Homebrew launcher loads, we just need to click on the re3.rpx on our Wii U gamepad. If you are an artist, you can make a banner label and add in like the XML file to give it a description. I'm not going to bother with that in this video. I just want to show you guys how to get it running. And there we are, Grand Theft Auto 3 up and running on the Nintendo Wii U. How insane is this? Like, this is so cool. So I messed around with this for about an hour before deciding to make this video, and honestly, the performance was fantastic. You will notice the occasional frame dip here and there, but it's nothing compared to playing it on the PS2 where it was dropping frames constantly. Like, this is fantastic. But there are some options you might want to mess with, so if you go into the options tab, you can actually change your display setup. I maxed out the draw distance and really didn't see much of a performance hit from it, which is great because playing this game with low draw distance sucks. But then you can also change the graphics settings, so you can add in like the motion blur and light trails that were found in the PS2 version. I never liked those, so I leave it off. You can also change the aspect ratio if you want. The game is set to 720p output, and you can't really change that, but you can mess around with the aspect ratio and mess around with things. Like if you want the old 4:3 aspect ratio, you can use your display to scale it back to 4:3. It's an interesting, it's really interesting, but I mean, just leave it on auto if you want to leave it in widescreen. I just played this game in 4:3 a ton. I thought I'd mention it. And then you could also change your control setup if you want. You just go through and change them to whatever you want. I'm leaving mine on default for now. They're pretty much the PS2 controls, just backwards because of the Nintendo buttons being backwards. But yeah, once you're ready to start playing, just hit start game and start a new game. Now, there will be a texture conversion process as you first load up the game. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes, so just be patient with it. There's a nice progress bar letting you know it's progress, so that's nice. See, there it is. And there we go. We can play the entirety of Grand Theft Auto 3 on a Wii U with pretty great performance, great visuals. Well, I mean, for Grand Theft Auto 3, that is. But it's just so awesome how well this actually runs, considering that this is just a interesting homebrew port of the PC version. I mean, this game is ancient. It should run on most anything these days. They even have a mobile version, but I don't know. Something about it is just so fun to me. But I think that's pretty much going to do it for this video. As always, if you happen to have any questions on the install process, just go ahead and ask me down in the comments section below. I'll do my best to try to help you out. For any in-game bugs or glitches you may find, definitely report those to the RE3 team so that way they can work on fixing those. Otherwise, this is a really cool project and off to a great start considering it has only been ported to the Wii U for about 2 months. But now if you could all do me a huge favor and be sure to hit that like or dislike button, just depending on how much you like today's tutorial. And if you have a favorite memory to share of GTA 3, leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to see them. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that sub button so you can see when new videos sorta like this go live. I normally cover RetroArch, but this was a fun little side thing I thought I'd cover today. But every sub really goes a long way to helping out the channel and keeping its growth up, and I just can't thank you all enough for that. If you're feeling particularly generous and want to further help expand the channel, you can always hit that join button here on YouTube or check out the Patreon link in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. A little really goes a long way to keeping this place up and running, and I am so grateful to all of you for that, and for all my current champions who have been with me for a couple of years now. Thank you all so incredibly much. You are fantastic and amazing people. But that's going to do it for this one, so until next time, my wonderful internet peeps, stay awesome, and we will see you all back next video.